Part 146. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1451. Bai Biao's defensive ability is obvious to all, even though he is a scumbag, and he vomits blood at every turn, but his fighting ability is absolutely outstanding. At this point, everyone must express admiration. This is also a special function of others. As for the 500 low-level quasi-sanctuary to high-level quasi-sanctuary soldiers, it can only be solved by other means. Fang Fan squinted his eyes secretly, and his eyes flickered with a bright light. He held his hands in front of him, and the sense of hope in his pupils became stronger. Galen, Kyle, Jax, you launch a vanguard battle. Pay attention to killing those high-level quasi-sanctuary heavenly soldiers. Vega, Daji. Long-range magic attack. Caitlyn, long-range sniper. Luohu, lead the Blood Shura Legion to fight. Ancestor Baisha, Brahma died, Buddha sword. You lead dozens of quasi-sages from the war slaves' army to attack from both sides. This battle, fight quickly. The remaining 2 golden armor generals, Bai Biao will deal with one, and the rest, I will fight. Patriarch Huanggan. The 4 great pets. It's best to prepare at any time. Na Yan, the magical control war is ready. You must kill a 2-star sanctuary level golden armor general in a short period of time, and then besiege another. Fang Fan took a deep breath. This is bound to be a tough battle. The rhythm of the battle is rising, and the will to fight at this moment is also rapidly soaring. 2 2-star sanctuary god generals, I don't know what kind of cards will be released after killing them. Fang Fan secretly frowned, and his eyes gradually became solemn. And die. These golden armor generals and silver armored celestial soldiers seem a little dull, and they have been shouting similar lines. Probably the order given to them by the existence above the heavens is this, and then it is firmly remembered. Fang Fan squinted his eyes secretly, and there was more and more silence in his eyes. At this moment, the mind is boiling. War. Fang Fan rose into the air and took the lead in attacking. Ants. Ants can also shake the heavens. Na Yan. According to the Lord. Fang Fan snorted. Na Yan already understood. Foreknowledge. Na Yan has a 7th level divine position, a star disciple, and now begins to use his first magical skill prediction, mainly to perceive the enemy's weakness. My lord, the weakness of the golden armor general is, in the center of the buttocks, where the armor's stomach has the weakest defense. A strange look appeared on Na Yan's face, but he continued to speak. Fang Fan was silent for a while. The center of the buttocks? The location of the backyard flower? Fang Fan glanced at the 4-star holy sword in his hand, and said to himself that it was hard on you. Control the battle. After Na Yan performed the first magical skill, the second magical skill control war came along. Controlling the battle, as the name suggests, is actually controlling the battle. Once this magical skill is displayed, it can double the combat power of one's own team, and reduce the combat power of one's opponent by half. The time limit is limited to 10 minutes. Before Na Yan used Control War, Fang Fan had already made all preparations. Aragama's Wrath. Fang Fan snorted, and his combat power skyrocketed. The effect of Aragama's Fury is that it can instantly increase the combat power of 3 levels, and it also lasts for 10 minutes. Fang Fan himself is a low-level quasi-sage, and after rising 3 levels, he is an absolute quasi-sage. Shared. Fang Fan activated the gods and servants of the gods shared magical skills again, and directly used all the powers of the 4 god pets and the 1-star sanctuary clan chief Huanggan for the time being. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1452. Infinite power surrounds Fang Fan, and his battle strength soars instantly. The scene once seemed very horrifying and terrifying. Fang Fan murmured to himself, his eyes gradually became earnest, and his willpower became stronger silently. At this moment, Fang Fan has absorbed the power of 2 low-level quasi-sacred level pets and 2 10-star Emperor level pets, plus 1-star Sanctuary level leader Huang Gan. Instantly increase the combat power to the peak of the 1-star Sanctuary realm. Coupled with the addition of Nai Yan's battle control magical skill, he officially broke through the combat power of the 2-star Sanctuary. But at this moment, the combat power of the Golden Armor General on the opposite side has been weakened by half. Holding the 4-star Holy Sword in his hand, Fang Fan rushed over. Clang! Clang! The sounds of fighting continued, Fang Fan's brows furrowed silently. This Golden Armor General is so strong. At the same time, in the 2-star Sanctuary realm, Fang Fan could clearly feel that this Golden Armored God General was much stronger than the protector of the Haoshan Pavilion, Balin, whom he beheaded back then. As soon as the battle started, Fang Fan fell into a short-term disadvantage. According to this trend, it may not be long before it will be defeated directly. Even if he didn't lose, and waited until the 10 minutes were up, the buff bonus effect on Fang Fan's body would gradually disappear. At that time, it will be even more difficult to fight. Fang Fan frowned silently, and there was a more serious look in his eyes. This situation must change as soon as possible. The majesty of the Rage God. It may have a certain degree of deterrent effect on ordinary practitioners, but it is basically useless against a general. The respective cards, there is still a Saint-level Annihilation card that I have not been willing to use for a long time. Once the Saint-level Annihilation card explodes, it can obliterate the existence below the 3-star Sanctuary. Just killed the 2-star Sanctuary General in front of me, what should we do with the remaining one? Fang Fan's eyes gradually narrowed, and his thoughts gradually slackened in his mind. Fang Fan. Fang Fan boy. It's been 5 minutes. Can you do it? What the hell, I can't hold on. You want to kill the envoy of God? I'll go. This golden bump is too strong. I won't play as an envoy. Not far away, Bai Biao kept screaming. 2-star Sanctuary level Golden Armor Generals, Fang Fan faced one, and Bai Biao resisted the other. Otherwise, if one of the 2-star Sanctuary level Golden Armored Gods rushes out, the scene will collapse directly, and it will be even more difficult to control it at that time. Fang Fan glanced at Bai Biao. This guy was walking around in the air, crazily avoiding the attack of the Golden Armor General. Although his body looked bloody, he was still alive and kicking. Although he has been crying for his father and mother, but according to this momentum, it will be fine for a while. Fang Fan had a more or less emotional expression on his face. Bai Biao really deserves to be the candidate for flesh and blood in his mind. Even the attacks of the strong in the sanctuary can resist the attack. Hold on, my side, it's almost here. For your position as an envoy, for your supreme reputation, continue to persevere. Fang Fan waved his hand and secretly puffed up. Seeing that there will be no problems with Bai Biao for the time being, Fang Fan's eyes once again focused on the Golden Armor General in front of him. Bai Biao said just now that these god generals and heavenly soldiers are permeated with a trace of soul power, that's why they are so powerful. Divine soul. In this case, it can be killed with one blow. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth narrowed secretly, looking very confident. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1453. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes, and there were gleams of light in his eyes. This is the time to be confident. Rage God's finger. Fang Fan murmured softly, his eyes became more and more earnest, golden rays of light shone all over his body. At the same time, Fang Fan's index finger began to shine. At this time, Fang Fan secretly smiled, and the smiles on his face became more and more, and then the full-scale battle started. The divine finger of the Rage God. The magical skill is a skill inspired by Fang Fan's fusion of a real god's bone, which is relatively meaningful. The divine finger of Rage God. Once the divine finger is released, the sky will be shattered. Consume a certain amount of power of faith, condense the divine finger, and release the power of the true God. It has a destructive bonus effect on the soul. The cooldown period is 3 days. Rage God's finger. The magic skill has an additional bonus effect on the soul. Fang Fan once used this trick to directly kill the silver dragon in the form of thunder in the 5-star sanctuary realm. The god in front of me is only 2-star sanctuary realm. Fang Fan snorted secretly, his figure suddenly rushed forward, his eyes became more and more earnest. The gleaming fingers were aimed directly at the 2-star sanctuary general opposite. Just let it all end. End. Fang Fan muttered to himself, his eyes gradually became earnest. Death energy is gradually gathering around. Above the blue sky, a phantom of a huge index finger suddenly appeared, directly shooting down the 2-star sanctuary general from the air, and then completely obliterating it. All of this seems to be done in an instant. The first 2-star sanctuary general was killed. Victory is within reach. Hallmaster is invincible. Hallmaster is invincible. Hallmaster Wan's hung. Hallmaster Wan's hung. This wave of obliteration of a 2-star sanctuary general is also a great boost to morale. At this moment, as one after another of crazy roars came, everyone's eyes were focused on this, and they all stared at the peerless hero in their hearts. In their eyes, Fang Fan's image has become extremely tall at this moment, which makes them feel hopeful and excited from the bottom of their hearts. This feeling is extraordinarily real. Boy Fang Fan, are you on drugs? So strong? I'll go. Bai Biao, who was frantically fleeing from the pursuit of the general, opened his eyes wide, and then let out a cry of astonishment. This was a bit different from what he expected. Can Fang Fan kill the 2-star sanctuary general? Even if this kid has improved by leaps and bounds, isn't he still a low-level quasi-sage now? Bai Biao stared at the sky speechlessly, completely bewildered. Ants. Boom. Just when Bai Biao was full of thoughts, the 2-star sanctuary realm god who chased him down would appear in front of him again, and then start a desperate killing. Careful. Fang Fan just saw it, his heart skipped a beat, and he quickly reminded. It's just that it's too late now, the attack of the 2-star sanctuary general has arrived. Bai Biao suffered a wave of attacks, his body fell like a thunderbolt in the sky. It stands to reason that if he was suddenly attacked by a 2-star sanctuary general, even a 1-star sanctuary and a 2-star sanctuary would die on the spot. As for Bai Biao, this god envoy hurts to death. Damn it! Damn it! You can't move lightly. What the hell? How do you do things? Damn, I want to complain. I want to complain about you. I want to kill you. You bastard. You bastard. I'm so pissed off. How can you do this? You bastards, you really let me down. Hucka, I can't do it anymore, I can't take it anymore, I can't suppress the feeling of wanting to beat you to death. Fang Fan boy. Help me kill these bastards. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1454. Bai Biaoxu yelled a lot, and blood shot all over his body, but obviously, it was harmless, and did not cause any fatal damage to his body at all. Humanoid meat tank, so terrifying. Concentrate your strength. Kill this 2-star sanctuary general. If you kill him, you will win this battle. Fang Fan let out a roar, his gaze became anxious. 7 or 8 minutes have passed since he used the Wrath of the Rage God and Na Yan used the Battle Control magic skill. And the duration of these two magical skills is only 10 minutes. That said, time is running out. Na Yan, where is the weakness of this general? Fang Fan frowned and asked directly. The current form is too bad, if you are not careful, you may lose everything. So, be careful and be careful. Choose opportunities carefully. Earlier, Fang Fan asked Na Yan to predict the weakness of another general, which was the position of the back garden flower. But individuals are different, and their weaknesses are also strange. My lord, this is still the most central position of his buttocks, which is his well-known weak point, where the defense is the lowest. The strange expression on Na Yan's face became more and more. Fang Fan twitched the corner of his mouth, and was speechless at the moment. Will this be an accident? Of course not. Could it be that these gods and generals have placed their weaknesses in the position of backyard flowers? Why so vulgar? Could it be that because of some special habit, that position has been hit hard? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows. Why did he feel that his strange knowledge had increased a lot? These strange knowledges were churning in his mind, which gave Fang Fan a headache. Vega. Do you remember clearly? Backyard flowers are weaknesses. Get ready for dark magic. Get ready for one-hit kills. Daji, prepare your divine control skills, and be ready to forcibly control this general at any time. Once Daji controls this general, everyone else will attack, don't hesitate. Fight, fight, fight. Fang Fan let out a soft drink, his eyes flickering brightly. Such thoughts churned in my mind, and instantly became more real. At this moment, let yourself go completely. The 2-star sanctuary generals are indeed very strong, but they may not be impossible to kill. It can still be wiped out without Rage God's finger. Bai Piao, bring the general here. Quick. Fang Fan yelled at Bai Piao, who was running around. Now he is the core of the battle. Among the combat forces under Fang Fan's command, no one can survive a few rounds under the desperate attack of this 2-star sanctuary realm general. Even Huang Gan, the patriarch of the Huang clan in the 1-star sanctuary realm, can't do it. In the audience, only Bai Piao was able to come and go freely. Although he was the 5 scum of the war, he did not panic at all against several waves of fierce attacks. Bring it over. I'll go. How can this be cited? I'm being chased by him now. I'm not chasing him. You kid just want to cripple my life. Damn it, you're too dark. I knew that every time I met you, nothing good would happen. I didn't understand it before, now I understand it. I understand it completely. Me. Stop chasing me, I can't run anymore. Bai Piao fluttered left and right in the sky, cursing. Fang Fan touched his nose. Chun didn't hear it at the time. Although Bai Piao talked a lot of nonsense, but when he did practical things, his efficiency was quite high. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1455. Prick prick prick. Clang. The sound of flesh and blood being torn apart and the sound of metal colliding could be heard endlessly, and the scene became extremely strange for a while. Vega, Galen, Kyle, Jax, Caitlin, Daji, Langan, Patriarch Baisha, Brahma, Buddha Sword. Wave after wave of crazy assassinations. Everyone's eyes focused on this, launching attacks one after another. A short 1.5 seconds is enough to cause unparalleled damage. After the divine control time of 1.5 seconds disappeared, what appeared in front of everyone was a bloody mess. The envoy of the 2-star sanctuary realm was covered in blood all over his body, and his spirit also seemed sluggish. Don't, ah. Pain, pain, pain. My butt. Ah. The heart-piercing pain came, causing the two-star sanctuary god general to lose his voice for a while. He let out a roar, and his body gradually became rotten and collapsed. He wanted to attack Fang Fan and the others again, but he no longer had such an opportunity, and he was just jealous and weak at this moment. Cut. Fang Fan issued an order indifferently, and then a new round of attacks appeared, and everything will be terminated. The sound of roaring is endless. The last knife was made by Jax, holding the road and other weapons, and forcibly smashing the two-star sanctuary god general's body from the hip, directly breaking it. The body of this two-star sanctuary general trembled on the ground for a long time, and finally died. This should be the sanctuary realm general who died the most miserable death. Before he died, he was bombarded countless times by flowers in the backyard. It will be easier for him to deal with the remaining hundreds of heavenly soldiers from the low-level quasi-sacred realm to the high-level quasi-sacred realm. With Fang Fan's order, the 50 quasi-holy warriors of the slave army rushed over, and the 6 peak quasi-sacred heroes, plus Huang Gan, the head of the one-star sanctuary-level Baron clan, was in charge. There is a wave of counterkill. As more and more heavenly soldiers and gods were killed, the smiles on Fang Fan's face became more and more. What exploded from these heavenly soldiers' divine crystals were not only star cores, but also high-quality cards. Quasi-holy level heavenly soldiers correspond to quasi-holy level cards, and holy level generals correspond to holy level cards. After they were all swept away, Fang Fan already had 3 more holy cards and hundreds of quasi-holy cards in his hand. Holy Enlightenment card. After using it, you can gain enlightenment once, which can be used to practice combat skills and divine skills, or to comprehend special existence. Holy Food card. After opening, you will get holy food. Holy Level Draw card. Randomly get a holy level card. It may be a holy level food card, or it may be a holy level legion card. Quasi-holy Pet Experience card. It can be used to upgrade the pet. Note: the level of the pet cannot be lower than the 10-star Emperor realm. Quasi-Holy Warrior card. After using it, you can directly let a Quasi-Holy Strong become your war slave. Note: those who become war slaves must surrender their will. Quasi-Saint Promotion card. Fang Fan was quite satisfied with the harvest. Hundreds of heavenly soldiers and 2 2-star sanctuary realm gods will provide him with almost 1,000 star cores. And these cards are even more valuable. The 3 holy cards are of great significance. The holy level food card seems to be tasteless, but it was placed in the auction system before and directly auctioned for a high price of 10,000 star cores. The holy level epiphany card is a bit interesting, direct epiphany. Holy level drawing card. It's a bit like a card in the card. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1456. Let's draw this holy card first. Let's see what's tricky. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, raised the corners of his mouth slightly, and smiled more and more on his face. At this moment, such thoughts gradually became real. Use the Holy Draw card. Ding. A Holy Legion experience card has been successfully drawn. Fang Fan blinked, a little confused. It is indeed a holy card, but what the hell is the Holy Legion experience card? He didn't quite understand this operation. Fang Fan silently looked at the introduction. Holy Legion experience card. After using it, you can get a lot of Legion experience, which can improve the level of 1 or more legions. Looking at this introduction, Fang Fan fell into deep thought. It's a bit weird. This is the first time I have seen this type of card. Previously, cards of the Legion type were either promotion cards or Legion upgrade cards. It is indeed rare to see such a direct gift of experience. According to this way of thinking, using this Holy Legion experience card can increase the level of the Legion extremely quickly. I just don't know how the improvement effect will be. Fang Fan frowned silently, with a surprised expression on his face. It may not be very effective to distribute this Holy Legion experience card to 10 legions at the same time, but if it is placed on 1 legion, can it be raised by a level? Fang Fan thought to himself, his eyes became sharper. If this is the case, maybe there will be some surprises. Among the top 10 legions under his command, only the Blood Shura Legion is a low-level quasi-holy realm. The rest are the 10-star Emperor's Realm Legion. There are also several characteristic legions. Should I choose to be directly promoted to the Blood Shura Corps or the Low Heavy Machine Gun Corps? Fang Fan remained silent. The Blood Shura Legion's exclusive Legion skill Sura Unity can unite 7 Blood Shuras into one body, increasing their combat power by 2 levels in a short period of time. The current low-level quasi-sacred Blood Shura Legion can display high-level performance at critical moments. Quasi-sacred combat power. As for the Low Heavy Machine Gun Corps, well, the combat power that can be displayed in group battles is the strongest. Fang Fan meditated secretly, his eyes gradually focused, and then he secretly made a choice. What I lack now, is high-end combat power. If you really meet that kind of supreme powerhouse and get killed in an instant, you may not even have the chance to hide in Shushan Pavilion. If that's the case, the situation is more subtle. Choose to use the Holy Legion experience card on the Blood Shura Legion. Fang Fan snorted secretly and immediately made up his mind. Ding. Use the Holy Legion experience card successfully. Ding. Fully upgrading. My lord, this. The head of the Blood Shura Legion, Luo Hu, and the other Blood Shuras on the side were stunned for a moment. Feeling the strong aura coming from their bodies, they all expressed their bewilderment. Be safe and don't be impatient. Fang Fan pressed his hands down, groaned to himself, and then put his hands in front of him. His eyes became more and more silent. Intermediate quasi-sage. Directly raised a big level. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, and a surprised expression appeared on his face. It seems that the limit has not been reached yet. Still promoted. The effect of this Holy Legion experience card is too strong. Fang Fan gasped, and the surprised expression on his face was very real. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1457. This was definitely a surprise. Promotions, still going on. High-ranking quasi-sage. Less than a minute has passed, and the Blood Shura Legion has been directly stretched from the low-level quasi-sacred realm to the high-level quasi-sacred realm. Fang Fan gasped, with a look of astonishment on his face. It's still going on. At this moment, not only Fang Fan was stunned, but everyone standing around also had expressions of disbelief on their faces. Boy Fang Fan, is your army bewitched? There is a problem. If something goes wrong, there must be a demon, you'd better take it easy. Bai Piao stood aside, wiped the blood off his face, and watched solemnly. Husband, isn't this the reward after the divine calamity has passed? Sikong Yuxin squinted her eyes, feeling extremely surprised. She has been a goddess for a while, so she must have no problem with her knowledge, but this is the first time he has seen this kind, so she is more or less surprised. Don't make wild guesses. It has nothing to do with any of that. Just wait for the good news. A slight smile appeared on the corner of Fang Fan's mouth. Under his gaze, the level of the Blood Shura Legion rose again. Peak Quasi-Holy Realm. Call. Fang Fan took a heavy breath, his eyes sparkled brightly, and the corners of his mouth smiled more and more. As expected of a holy card, the effect of this brand new Holy Legion experience card is really extraordinary. Fang Fan was already very satisfied to be able to directly promote the Blood Shuro Legion from the low-level quasi-holy realm to the peak quasi-holy realm. This wave is perfect. My lord, I feel like I'm still promoted. Luo Hu, the leader of the Blood Azura Legion, opened his mouth, and was completely stunned at the moment. Although he couldn't believe it, this feeling was extremely real, and it wasn't something he could deny if he wanted to. Still promoted. Above the Supreme Quasi-Sage, is the Sanctuary. Just as Fang Fan's thoughts came to this point, there were thunderous crackling sounds in his ears. Ding! The Blood Shuro Legion is about to be promoted to the 1-star Sanctuary realm. Ding! The entire Blood Shuro Legion will usher in the Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation. Ding! Please prepare for the tribulation. There were endless voices in my ears, and the expression on Fang Fan's face was very startled from the beginning to the end. This operation, 2-6. One-time direct stretching, from a low-level quasi-sage to a 1-star sanctuary. One wave, all done? Fang Fan raised his head and glanced at the thunder group gathered in the sky, seeing that the sanctuary thunder tribulation of the Blood Shuro Legion was coming. This time it's still a group thunder tribulation. What's the situation? Is this divine calamity not over yet? This thunder is so terrifying. Who says it's not? It was already very difficult for us to resist those god generals and heavenly soldiers before. If there is another wave, we won't be able to hold on. Hey, is this still the promotion of the 8th rank force? Why do I feel that it is more difficult than the promotion of the 3rd rank force? Who said it wasn't? Damn, have you fallen into a pit? No. God's tribulation seems to be over. This is thunder tribulation, this is sanctuary thunder tribulation. It's very different from being promoted to God's tribulation, it's different. Under the command of Palace Master Fang Fan, another cultivator is about to cross the sanctuary lightning tribulation? Does this mean that Fang Fan will soon have another strong sanctuary under his command? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 people have ascended to heaven together. Are they going to go through the thunder tribulation of the sanctuary together? I'm going to explode. Explode directly. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1458. At the same time, 7 people appeared together to cross the thunder tribulation of the sanctuary. This kind of grand occasion is almost rare even in ordinary sanctuaries. The disheveled-haired Haun, the son of the master of Haoshan Pavilion, came out from the corner tremblingly. When those heavenly soldiers and generals and the bees of destruction all over the sky attacked, he consciously chose to dodge. Because he knew that he couldn't beat any of them. At this moment, after finally waiting for these things to get better, he got out silently, glanced at the sanctuary thunder tribulation in the sky, and then fell into boundless shock. 7 peak quasi-sages, attracted the sanctuary thunder tribulation at the same time. Is this the rhythm of promoting to the sanctuary together? No. Impossible. How could it be so strong? Although this human plane is the source plane, the aura has only begun to recover. Why are there so many perverted evildoers? Hao Yun's lips trembled, and he had already fallen into a state of complete silence. Even in the Haoshan Pavilion, the strong in the sanctuary can be promoted to the respected Dharma Guardian. How many strong in the sanctuary can there be in the Haoshan Pavilion? Wrong, all wrong. Why did I choose to come here in the first place? Isn't this suicide? This is a dead end. A dead end. As Hao Yun spoke, his body trembled unnaturally, and the remorse in his heart could no longer be described in words. He suddenly had a premonition that if Haoshan Pavilion continued to target this human plane, perhaps the entire Haoshan pavilion would suffer endless disasters in the near future. Lucky Body trembled slightly, and silently hid back in the dark corner. A group of cultivators from the War Slave Legion gathered here, and the battle had just ended under the leadership of Patriarch Baisha and Vice-Commanders Fan Tianchi and Fu Tujian. My lord's power is so powerful. Following my lord, maybe my old bones can be turned into miracles? Go one step further. Fortunately, I made the right choice and became the master's war slave, otherwise, everything will be over. Following the Lord, although I'm just a war slave at the moment, there may not be no hope of going further in the future. If I can be favored by the Lord again, my cultivation base will also skyrocket. Phew. Patriarch Baisha thought of this, his complexion gradually turned red. A hopeful life, so wonderful. The head of the Brahma clan, Brahma Shi, and the former head of the Mi Shen guild, Fu Tujian, smiled at each other, and the joy and shock on their faces complemented each other. The Lord really has the ability to turn stones into gold. If it was just an accident that Huanggan was able to directly provoke the thunder disaster in the sanctuary last time, what should we say this time 7 guards summoned the thunder disaster in the sanctuary at the same time? It is not accidental. Our opportunity for sanctification may lie in the Lord. The head of the Brahma clan, Brahma, clenched his fists tightly, his eyes full of hope and excitement. Accomplishing the holy position should be the lifelong pursuit of every quasi-sage. Allegiance to the Lord, making unworldly military exploits, will definitely be appreciated by the Lord, and then we will be able to reach the sky. Brahma, you and I encourage each other. Huanggan has become a saint, and the two of us have to work harder. Fu Tujian, the former president of the Extinguishing God Association, said with a firm look in his eyes. If it was said that choosing to surrender as a war slave before was just an expedient policy and a helpless move, then now I feel lucky and willingly become Fang Fan's war slave. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1459. If you can successfully advance to Sanctuary, then everything will be smooth and natural. What's the harm in being a war slave for 10,000 years and 100,000 years? The legions have been promoted from the supreme quasi-sacred realm to the sacred realm, and they also need to go through the thunder disaster of the sanctuary. This is something I never thought of before. I don't know how difficult it is to cross the tribulation, and I was completely unprepared before. Fang Fan frowned silently, feeling somewhat worried and anxious at the moment. If something happens, it is not what he wants to see. Because of the appearance of thunder tribulation, it seems that the divine tribulation that promoted the power level of human Emperor Palace has been interrupted. Fang Fan opened his mouth, and then glanced at the endless void. His face became more and more stunned, which was a little different from what he had imagined. But things have come to this point, and I can only pray that Luohu and others can be promoted successfully. The first thunder tribulation landed from the sky. Rumbling. Click. The strength of the middle-level quasi-sage seems normal. When these thunders were about to fall on Rahu and the other blood Asuras, a blood-colored sky suddenly appeared in the sky, like a layer of extremely strong protective shields, protecting Rahu and the other blood Asuras from being disturbed. The sky thunder fell, landed in the blood-colored sky, and suddenly fell apart. It seemed that these sky thunders were like bubbles, floating with the wind. As for Luohu and the other 7 blood Shuras, standing high in the sky seemed very casual, because those thunders never fell on them at all. What the hell is this bloody sky? Also, is this blood Shura crossing the thunder calamity open? Does the thunder calamity not touch his body? Is this the characteristic of blood Shura, or can all legions enjoy this treatment? Fang Fan's pupils shrank slightly, and the surprised expression on his face became more and more. Husband, the second thunder has fallen. Sikong Yuxin walked to Fang Fan's side, and seemed to be able to feel Fang Fan's anxiety and worry, and said softly. Fang Fan nodded, then looked up again. That day when the thunder barked its teeth and claws, it was very terrifying. The second thunder had already reached the strength of a high-level quasi-saint, but this time the strange blood-colored sky reappeared, blocking the attack of the thunder again. Luohu and the group of blood-shuras experienced the feeling of thunder rolling in the sky, and the thunder does not touch the body. The third way. The fourth way. Eighth road. Ninth road. It's actually another 9-level sanctuary thunder tribulation. Fang Fan frowned, then took a light breath and said. It's just that the 9-layered sanctuary thunder tribulation this time is not as difficult as what Patriarch Huang Qian experienced before. Tian Li hasn't changed, what has changed is that weird blood-colored sky. Fang Fan thought to himself, and his eyes gradually became quieter. Husband, I have never seen such a situation. However, if Luohu leads them all to successfully overcome the tribulation, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Sikong Yuxin comforted him from the side. Fang Fan nodded. After all, the situation was very good, so there is no need to worry about it. What if I am the child of luck? Is it a thing to open a plug-in? The thunder tribulation of the 9 layers sanctuary passed through, and the audience was completely silent. After the last thunderbolt struck, and the scene of rain gradually appearing in the sky, everyone gradually regained some consciousness. I was really shocked just now. Is this the rumored crisis of the sanctuary thunder tribulation? Is there such a trifling sanctuary thunder tribulation? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1460. Is this over? I'll just take a nap. Are you kidding me? Sanctuary thunder tribulation, are you kidding around? Patriarch Baisha rubbed his eyes and almost couldn't catch his breath. While talking at this moment, his eyes were full of horror, and he felt that he must have encountered something terrible. Is this what normal people do? Old guy, you read that right, everything is true. The power of the Lord is beyond what you and I can perceive. Fu Tujian, the deputy commander of the Slaves Corps, said, his eyes became more and more fierce and excited. Follow the Lord, there is meat to eat. At this moment, such thoughts gradually emerged in his mind. He couldn't help but think that at some point in the future, he will also be favored by the Lord, and then under the guidance of the Lord, he will attract the thunder disaster in the sanctuary, and then go through it lightly, then he will become a saint and become a saint. Domain strong? Thinking of this, the smiles on Fu Tujian's face became more and more. While thinking about it, he laughed silly. Please call me Lord Commander from now on. I am the leader of the slave army appointed by the Lord himself. You Deputy Commander, keep a low profile for me in the future. Patriarch Baisha held his head high and raised his chest, shouting at the Futu sword. Now he feels more and more that this identity and position are really useful. The corner of Futujian's mouth twitched. Is it appropriate for you, a high-ranking quasi-sage, to say this in front of me, a top quasi-sage? He wanted to make trouble, but in an instant he was held back by Brahma, another deputy commander of the slaves' army. In any case, he is indeed the leader of the slave army appointed by the Lord himself. Brahma shrugged his shoulders and said sincerely, the implication is that he wants to win the Lord's favor and respect, so it's better not to cause trouble. Fu Tujian nodded silently, although he was upset, but compared to the Lord's favor, it was nothing. Ding. Using a Holy Level Legion experience card, the low-level quasi-holy level Blood Shura army has been successfully promoted to a 1-star sanctuary level. The system sound came from the ear, and everything was confirmed. Fang Fan smiled softly, He also has a Sanctuary Realm Legion under his command. If the Blood Shura army uses the army's exclusive skill Sura Unity, it can increase its combat power by 2 levels in a short period of time. In other words, these 7 Blood Shuras can be combined into one at a critical moment, possessing 3-star Sanctuary level combat power. This is a great breakthrough. It means that Fang Fan's high-end combat power level has once again increased. The dark clouds in the sky have dispersed. The level promotion of Human Emperor Palace has been successful. The palace of the Human Emperor is about to usher in the rain. Sikong Yuxin danced lightly, pulled Fang Fan's arm, and said excitedly. The will to be excited at this moment is very real. Thinking of this, the smiles on their faces gradually increased. Fang Fan nodded secretly, because Luo Huo and other Blood Shuras suddenly encountered a thunder disaster in the sanctuary, which delayed the promotion of the Human Emperor's palace, but now, it's time to start. After several previous battles, the hurdles for the promotion of the Emperor's palace have all been passed. It's just that I don't know which level the Human Emperor's hall can be directly promoted to this time. Fang Fan secretly smiled. The Human Emperor's palace is an 8th rank force at this moment, and after encountering such a degree of divine calamity, the extent of promotion at one time is unknown. More and more rain falls from the sky. These sweet rains are actually crystal clear spirit crystals. Being in the moment is quite a refreshing feeling.